golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see us shine, 'cause we're golden.
Hey everyone, I am the Pokemon guy at TD Flips. I'm so glad that I have been invited to come here and talk about Pokemon, especially to just share my knowledge and passion. So, a little bit about myself. I'm Nicholas, I'm 14 years old, and I invest a stupid amount of money in Pokemon. I love to watch the animated series ever since I was young, and ever since I was young, I always loved to collect Pokemons, especially in 2012, 2016, around that era. And before then, it wasn't really that big, but in this episode, I'm gonna really talk about what even is Pokemon, how it got that demand, and what is your best course of action right now. So, how it got its demand. One of the big reasons why it got its demand is Logan Paul. Logan Paul, he has around 22 point something subscribers. That's a lot, and he has a lot of influence on the social media platform. I mean, videos that he's posted, and people already know his name. He's done boxing, all that. So, recently, he started buying these first edition base set booster boxes, which are an extremely old booster box that right now are going for around $300,000. So he bought those, and he decided to crack one open. When he cracked one open, prices of evolutions, which are Pokemon sets, and all of the other sets, but mainly evolutions, skyrocketed. Even vintage and things like that. And so it showed how much his influence could shift the market. And then you have all of these tiny, not tiny, but like smaller-ish YouTubers like Leonhardt, PokeRev, opening up boxes daily, which are now growing in followers tremendously. And all of these YouTubers have a great influence on the market, and they are just helping keep it up. Someone even told me that Logan Paul has bought 6 booster boxes, or 8, and decided to open one up every year. That's wild, because that's around 6 to 8 years where the market will definitely be going up. Now, Pokemon, the company, their factories are going right now not at maximum capacity. Due to COVID reasons and things like that, they're not printing as much as they can. And I also heard that Pokemon is getting a new factory where they'll be able to print maximum capacity. Now, with the new sets Pokemon is releasing, Shining Fates, Battle Styled, and now Chilled Rains, the market, they're definitely going to just be pushing that, and the market values for those sets is going to increase. And if you have like ETBs, booster boxes, ETBs is just a fancy word for Elite Trainer boxes, sorry, not fancy word, acronym. And so those sets, if you can get your hands on those, they're great, they're awesome. They are definitely going to sell for a lot of money. And most likely, if you want to open some, you can pull some really nice priced cards. Now, right now, if you have, like, let's say a collection or something in your attic that you think is Pokemon related, if I were you, I would go in that attic, I would open that collection up, and use an app called TCG Player. It allows you to scan your cards, and it's not sponsored, by the way. But it allows you to scan your cards, and it'll find it in the market price, and it'll give you all the details about it, its name, everything, and you can look up its price. Because if you have, like, let's say a Shadowless base set Charizard or first edition base set Charizard, that goes for like 20 grand easily. So you may have gold sitting in your attic. And if you have sealed product from that time era, that's even more, I don't know, actually, I don't know if it's more than 20,000, but it's definitely close. So, again, vintage stuff, that is gold right now. First edition, Shadowless, base set, anything that's vintage, what, 2006, around there. All of those sets go for a lot. Especially Neo Genesis, Neo Revelation, Neo Destiny, Neo Discovery, Team Rocket, all of those sets, they go for a lot. And so what I've been personally doing right now is a local card shop opened up near me, and I'm pretty sure most people have local card shops near them. Go there, but before you go, look up some cards that are doing hot in the market, or just if you can find any facts on eBay, sold prices, anything like that. But like I said before, first edition, vintage. And if you want to know if it's base set or not, at the bottom of the card, the very bottom, there will be like a long string of text saying like 1998, 1999, things like that, Wizards of the Coast. Those cards are what you know as vintage or older. So if you can find those cards, not all of them, but some of them are worth a lot of money. And if you were to go to your local card shop, they probably know what I'm talking about, so you can always ask them. So I have bought around a base set Blastoise, base set 2 Venusaur, and a base set Venusaur. Those 3 cards, each one of them is worth about, well, the Venusaurs are worth around $80 to $100, right? Because they're in mint condition. The Blastoise is worth around, what, $115, $120, right? You send those cards to a PSA or a BGS, a grading company. You get them back at a 9 or a 10. They will be worth around $800 to $1,000 easily. Blastoise could be even like 1.1. So that just shows you, moving on to the next part of what I'm going to talk about, is grading companies. Getting your cards graded, especially if they're vintage and in great condition, is something that will increase the price tremendously. So a few things that you want to look for on your card to make sure that it's mint or just in good enough condition to send it to a grading company, make sure that you make your profit and your money back. So grading companies grade on 4 terms usually. Sometimes they'll grade on more or less, really just depends on who you're sending it to. But the standard is usually centering, condition, surface, and corners. So let's go over what those 4 things mean. Centering. Centering goes over how well centered the card is. So the borders on the card, normally when on the front of a Pokemon card, it's yellow, and on the back, it's like a dark blue. Those corners have to be even on the sides. So if one side is this big, but the other is that big, that's not very well centered. Same goes for top and bottom. So those things you really just want to look out for, because that could really, that weighs a lot on the card's grade. Surface. Surface, you really want to make sure there's no scratches or whitening on the cards at all. And you just want to make sure that it's, you know, a clean surface. Condition. Condition, you want to make sure that there's not like any creases or like cuts, anything like that. That can, like, the card's basically damaged at that point. Condition is something that weighs also very heavily on the grade of your card, and yeah, it can affect it a lot. I know that from experience as well, and I've seen a couple friends that have had like a tear, like a tiny tear on it, you know, and you think, oh, that's not a big deal, you know, but no, it could get like a 1 or a 2, which is horrible. That means you're losing money at that point. And then corners. Corners, you want to make sure that your corners aren't bent, you know, because I've seen a lot of old Pokemon cards that haven't been well kept, and their corners are bent and they're just not looking great. So you want to make sure that the corners and everything's great. You know, but if you have like a scratch or something, or it's just a little off center, don't get discouraged, because that's fine. That happens with a lot of Pokemon cards. I recently had a shiny, I have a shiny Charizard, and it was just a little bit off centered, but it even got a 10 because they were gracious enough to give me that. So it depends on who you're getting it graded by, but also if it's very minor. So that's all that I'm going to cover now, and then later in the future I'll post videos on cards you should invest in and things you should look out for. But thank you so much for watching. If you do feel that I have earned a like and a subscribe, please do. It helps us out tremendously. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.